Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Captain J.
I'm Sunny D.
And we're the
Pot
Pot Smoking Moms. If you like us, please rate, review, subscribe, and share our content with your friends. Check out our social media and our website, potsmokingmoms.com. So we have a good show for you guys this week. I'm finally back in Hialeah again.
Yeah, you've been around the world and you gotta record a show now
before I move around the world again.
I know.
So let's start the smoke sesh.
Let's do it. Let's get loosey. Let's get goosey. If you're at home and you got something to spark up, we always invite you to smoke one with us.
What are you smoking, D?
I got a little treat today. I got a nice little silicone pipe from our friend Jane West.
Oh, Jane West
has a couple pieces she just released, including this little silicone. It's like a little bowl,
like a little
yeah. We had her on our show, show number 129, episode number 129,
about a year ago.
She sent us this nice little bowl. I have it packed with some
GG4, nice. I have some super silver haze rolled up in a little J for myself, because that's just what I've been smoking lately. Is J's.
Nice. Light it up.
Oh, so yeah, finally back in Hialeah. Let's see. Took a couple airplane rides to get to the other side of the world. Was in Rome for a week. In Italy, there for my best friend's wedding. It was absolutely beautiful wedding, beautiful country, amazing food. Oh my God, so much bread and pasta and pizza and you don't bloat like the way you bloat here after eating shit like that.
Because all the ingredients are
more natural and pure. They're not like processed foods. Oh my God, everything was just so delicious.
We
noticed gelato and
you know what? That you bring that up. We noticed here locally. We we buy pasta. Mm-hmm. We started noticing that the stuff that's imported from Italy has less ingredients than the stuff from here. So now
the color's different.
We're trying to buy more made products made in Italy and stuff like that because of that.
We were going to take a cooking class while there to learn how to make our own pasta and everything, but we just didn't have the time. We went to this place called Ponza Island. Oh my God, it was like heaven. I'm a water sign. I love the ocean. I love the water. I was like, we're going to Italy in the summer. We need to get in the water somehow. So I found this little excursion that picks you up in Rome and takes you to this island. So we basically had to drive an hour, right? They take us in a little like shuttle or whatever. We drove an hour to a port. From that port, it was an hour and a half long ferry ride. And then we get to the most beautiful little quaint island. And we boarded a fishing boat, and the fishing boat took us all around the island and took us to all the best stops to jump off and swim in the water and snorkel.
Nice. You did that?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And I got to jump into, I thought it was the Mediterranean Sea, but it's the Therian Sea or something, which is just above the Mediterranean, which I didn't know existed. I think they're one and the same. It's just another name for it. But the water was fucking freezing. Oh, and man. It still didn't stop me. Every stop I had to get in because I'm like, when am I going to be here again? When am I going to be able to do this again?
Right.
So the water was like crystal clear, blues and greens. I got to swim through three different grottos. Ooh. Yes, it was amazing. So amazing. That was like my favorite part of the trip other than the wedding, because obviously my best friend's wedding was beautiful and it was great spending time with her and her family. But like excursion, like seeing the touristy stuff, that was my favorite part of the whole trip. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. That sounds beautiful.
Yeah, I'll show you later some pictures and video and stuff. Yeah. I know I've already shared it with some of the ladies in Patreon in Discord. Like I was over there in Rome and like people were seshing right when I was getting to my hotel room to like end the night, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna jump in there. So even for Rome, we're still seshing together.
That's funny.
And then came home, had one day home, and I had to unpack and repack to go to Chicago for 3 nights for a conference.
Yeah, which sounded pretty great.
It was amazing. I got to see Meredith.
You hung out?
Yeah, we watched House of the Dragon at her apartment and had dinner there. And Chicago's just a cool city. Like I've been there before, but I didn't really get to see it as much as I saw it this time. It's a really cool city. If it wasn't so damn cold during the winters, it's beautiful architecture, way cleaner than New York.
Yeah, I would love to go to Chicago. That's where my husband's family is from. His dad's family, they lived in Chicago for a really
Yeah.
long
They have
time.
really good food and like, you know,
And I would like to watch improv out there. Isn't the Second City out there? There's like a bunch of theater out there
yeah, they
too.
have their own like Broadway or whatever. And it's just beautiful. I was walking it every night. I was walking around the area that I was staying. I would go get ice cream or something to eat and then sit by the river to smoke my joint. It was legal there, so I just didn't bring anything that time, and I could just go to a dispensary and buy it. It's fantastic
Sweet. And the weed
when
there
you
was good?
travel. Yeah, I went to a Sunnyside.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was the closest one to my hotel. I just went there because it was the closest, and just got some weed. In fact, I took the weed to Meredith's house that night, and I rolled it all into joints, so I had it just ready to go. So
Right. Ready to go. She's packed and ready to go.
so like there was a little spot by the river there by my hotel that I would go to in the mornings and the afternoons and evenings to have my little sessions before
Nice.
doing all the work conference stuff.
Nice.
Exciting
It
HR
must be nice
conference.
to also I like I'm getting it more now because I work and the girls go to school, but like just having like time to yourself, just be alone with yourself, to be comfortable with yourself in a new different place.
Hmm, hmm.
That's really an experience all in it of itself because I don't know, I feel kind of proud of myself when I get through, life tasks on my own and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
So, this is cool, and then you adventuring, on your
Venturing
own
on my own.
is
Yeah.
right.
It is nice to get out on your own and kind of adventure. And now the next adventure. Going to Mexico, but this time with my son and my husband.
And the whole ship full of
Yeah,
fuckers.
the first trip was me and my husband. The second trip was just me alone for work. And now it's the whole family for family cruise with the thousands of other people
Yeah.
on a floating hotel.
What ship are you going?
I think it's called Grandeur of the Seas, a Royal Caribbean.
Oh, at least it's Royal Caribbean.
And then my brother called me. He called me yesterday, and I was driving home from work. I was supposed to
He's
go.
going too?
Yeah, my brother's going. Johnny and my brother Rick. The whole family affair. He called me, and I knew immediately what he was calling me for.
How are we gonna do this?
He's
How are we gonna
like,
pull this off?
What is your plan for weed on the cruise?
Right. Unfortunately, in these cases, I would assume that edibles would be the way to go because really,
Obviously, edibles is always the way to go.
But-
And I think taking a pen won't be difficult.
right.
It's always the flower. And then it's like once you let's say, okay, you get no problem getting on board. Where are you smoking that? Because I didn't get a balcony.
Right. And you're not taking a smoke buddy.
No. And like you would have to smoke on the ship somewhere on the outside, and it's so windy.
Yeah, right. That makes it so hard for you to smoke.
And then
I don't know.
how
Yeah.
you're not going to be seen or smelled.
Yeah. So, and how many days are you going to be gone on that?
It's a 5-day cruise.
Oh, well,
Might be a tolerance break.
Cruises.
It shouldn't be this difficult, y'all. If you're
Cruises.
patient and this is your medicine, it shouldn't be this difficult.
I
You should be
also hate the idea of having to be in the middle of the ocean with a bunch of people.
Yeah, I would prefer to be a private cruise, but I'm not that rich. I love being on the ocetion, but
Yeah.
it is very environmental, like not very good environmental wise, these damn ships.
I don't know. I don't know. I have my thoughts on.
Makes me nervous because it's like a
that's
little
fun.
floating city, and you don't know who's on that ship. There could be bad people.
Yeah, right.
And people always die, and then they have
And they cover it up, and they're in different.
No, but like even if
laws
it's not
apply to them.
even if it's not a murder, like somebody just dies, like you're on a cruise, that body has to be on that ship the entire time until they get back.
I mean,
people die on cruises from natural causes, just
yeah, right.
There's elderly people that cruise.
I mean, it's life happens.
Yeah, life happens. Did you hear about that kid that jumped off the cruise ship?
That on a dare from high school?
No, it wasn't a dare. Like he was like felt he was fighting with his dad or something, and he was like, "Yeah, whatever, dad. I'll just fine, just like whatever." And he jumped off the ship. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I don't remember what the words
had
were,
seen
but
one
his
and
dad was coming at him to like bitch at him about something, I think, and he just
That's scary. I had seen one where they had some guy, some young high school kid. It was nighttime, and it was on a dare or
Why
something,
would
or
he
he
do that?
jumped
Why would they
off,
dare that?
and everybody was like, "Oh my god!" And the boat was going
Yeah, the boat can't stop immediately. It
right.
doesn't know somebody just jumped off. And then
Exactly.
to turn that thing around,
No, it's not gonna happen. They're gonna call someone to get you or try or what do you happens? Nothing.
I
I
think they
mean,
have to stop and turn around and call for Coast Guard or
that's
something like
crazy,
that.
bro. But that's yeah, no. Even back to when COVID and all that, and then the kid and the a whole like going through the window, the baby going through the window,
Oh
and
my
like
god,
all of
that was a
that.
crazy story too.
Like, oh no, thanks, no
I don't
thanks. And
know.
wasn't it you that brought up something about like somebody human trafficking, like stealing your kid or something and taking him into a different room or something on the
Yeah,
boat?
I'm just like paranoid of my child just being taken by somebody, assaulted, and who knows? They
Yeah.
could just throw the kid overboard. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
But that's me
It's
because I'm crazy and paranoid.
yeah, but I don't blame you either. Yeah, that's wild to think. I there's nothing. My life has not been that interesting. My niece took me to a Blink 182 concert, which was good. Like at first, I was like, I mean, I immediately said yes, I would go.
I
Duh.
mean, it's a free concert. Why
It's a
not?
free concert,
You know, it's
and
still gonna be a
it's
good
I wanted to
time, even
spend
if
time with my niece, so
yeah.
that was really mostly what it was about. But and then just whatever, it was funny to me because I was talking to your husband earlier. Like Blink 182 was like a big thing when I was in high school, right? And like my first year at our public high school, which we went to both together, um, I had that their first album, Dude Ranch, which was like I played the shit out of that album, and I know everything on there, and I lightly followed them because they were pop. You know, I worked at Hard Rock Cafe, and whenever they would play the all the small things or whatever, since we were working, all the waiters would go, "Work sucks." I know. Like even when we were taking orders at the table, we would all just look at the customers and yell it at them, and whatever. That was a moment brought to you by Blink 182. So we went to the concert. It was really cool. It was like they were set up. It was a round stage. They were in the middle, which is the first time
Where
I've ever
was it?
seen
What's the venue?
at the Kaseya Center, American Airlines Arena, whatever that thing.
In Miami?
Yeah, where the Heat play.
Okay.
So I've been to tons of concerts there. I saw the Gorillas more recently at that place.
Mm-hmm.
But this time usually they're off at the front, right? And then there's nobody sitting behind the stage, and then it's just the rest of the arena. But here they were like in the middle, and they were playing in the middle, and so the drummer was in the center, and then the two guys would kind of post up around the drummer for different songs. They would be on different places, and then there was the screens that just showed it around the stage. And then there was a cool little camera that would circle around the stage. So like all of the stuff that went into the show was amazing. The visualizations when the songs were going, the pyrotechnics were fucking awesome. I scared the shit out of me at one point because you know me, I ate a mushroom chocolate. I was like, oh yeah, let's do it. And so the lighting and the pyrotechnics were really cool, and just the whole show together was great. I mean, these guys have been doing this for a long time. This isn't,
This isn't
it's
their
a
first
huge
rodeo.
production, right? So it was pretty fun. I really enjoyed it. It was a great concert. We yeah, and it's summertime. I didn't make any plans to put my kids anywhere. I'm kind of raw dogging summer because I just refuse to spend like $400 a week
On a
for my
kid.
child's care when like I've been trying to make things fun and interesting for them. I do have limits on stuff. It's not like it's a free for all, but you know, I try to set up their day and give them other things to do, and then I try to get grandpa to come. And like yesterday they went to the library. He took them to the park
And you have to
recently.
work.
Yeah, and I have to work, so I can't be. But they're a little older now, so they can
Be
like
a little bit
kind
more
of
independent.
be independent, or if they need something, I can like help them in between my thing. But for now and then, I have whatever grandparents, people come by to watch them and sit with them and be with them while I'm working. Cause yeah, I can't do shit.
It's too
And it's really
expensive.
hard because, yeah, the cost of childcare is, the cost of living, the cost of childcare, the pay. People are not paying all of the,
And that's why more people are deciding not to have kids.
and I cannot blame them. And I
Mhm.
feel like, not that we got suckered into this, but yeah, we kind of, we didn't really understand how much we would be doing,
Mhm.
and like, yeah, it's like, sounds kind of dumb, but at the same time, like, you really don't understand parenting until you're in
You're
there,
in
until
it.
you're doing it, and you're fucking like, well, I guess this is it for me.
You're right.
But it's worked out. They're good. My kids are good too.
They're
They're
so
like,
good. They're such cute
they're
girls.
they're cool. They're
They
not,
behave, yeah.
they do good.
Rambunctious sometimes, but
But that's
that's
kids too.
kids.
And it's
Exactly.
like
You want them to be kids.
taking advantage at night, staying late, playing video games, and when you think about it, that's what we did during our summers. Watch TV, stay up late, play video games,
Mhm.
So like, I do understand the concept of camp
But
and
if they
keeping them
stay up
in.
late, do they sleep in the next
They
morning?
stay, they do. So I
That's
could get
what's
some work done
good.
in the morning, and then they kind of trickle out, watch TV, have breakfast.
I let my son stay up till midnight playing games. And when he has to get off at midnight, his friends are like, "Why are you off? It's midnight. I have to get off." His friends are still like at it past then.
No, that's
So,
late. That is
and
late.
midnight's late. I feel like we're
Yeah,
really letting, like, because it's no school,
right.
If it's a school night, he gets off at 7:30 and then, he has dinner and
Exactly.
gets ready for bed.
Yeah.
But
Taking advantage.
yeah,
The
I had to make like
children's.
rules to so that he wasn't just doing that all day. So I got the whiteboard out and I write, before you start playing, you got to one,
Right.
get dressed,
Yeah.
brush your teeth.
Yes.
2, make your bed, pick up the
Yeah.
room. 3, let the dogs out and go out and let them in.
Yeah. Give
You
them
know?
stuff to do. I've tried to do stuff. I tried one. We had got a new puzzle. It was a 400-piece puzzle, and I was like, finish this puzzle, you get a prize. But they were very overwhelmed by how many pieces, so that we didn't get there. But like, little
Yeah.
things like draw your dream house. And then I was kind of like, hey, tell me places you guys want to go. Maybe that I can have grandpa take you places.
Yeah.
Make a list of like little things,
I want to go
museums, art
see Inside
thing.
Out too.
Oh yeah, we want to see that too. We saw
We should go
If.
see it. You saw If? Was it
It was
cute?
cute. It was super cute.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
So yeah, movies was always a fun thing that we did during
And a
summer.
lot of
For
summer
me, when I was
movies
a
come
kid,
out.
the summer was always the beach because I had a Dia that had a condo on the
Timeshare or
beach.
whatever. Yeah,
And no, she
condo.
lived there.
Oh, nice.
So like we would always also visit there. It was called Varadero Beach.
Oh, everybody stayed there, girl. I
Yeah.
had a friend who had a play. Her grandparents
Yeah, I
had a
knew you
place
would know
there
it because
too.
everybody stayed there at
It
one
was where
point.
all the Cubans in Miami stayed.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yep. It was the shit. That
Very
was my summers
familiar.
growing up there every year.
Yeah. Oh, I see you added that there. There's a lot happening in the world around us right now.
There is.
Some really awful shit. One of the awful things happening is, and not to get
I
into too
can't
much
believe
details.
but it's just like
Where are we? What time is it? What year is it? Or is this
I don't
real?
know what year it is. I feel like we're going back in time.
Is
for
this
sure.
real life?
So we recently discovered of the Supreme Court's most recent rulings. They rolled back the Chevron protections that were put in place. So basically, they're gonna less regulations. Companies are gonna be able to get away with a lot more. Apparently, the only thing the Supreme Court feels like they should regulate is women's uteruses. That's the only thing. It's ridiculous, as well as what was the other one? January 6th. People, they were saying that the Supreme Court said they should not have been charged with like the obstruction charges that they got.
Which I mean,
Like,
that is,
what?
I don't even care for that as much as I care about the other things. And then homelessness being
And the
illegal.
homelessness, that's one of the biggest ones. Basically making homelessness illegal, saying
Right.
it's okay to arrest people for not having somewhere to lay their head at night, even if there's no shelters available for them, no resources,
Yeah.
they have nowhere else to go. What are they supposed to do?
Yeah, it's crazy out there. It's a cruel world out there, and we're just trying to navigate it. And but that's
So it
what you
makes you
get
wonder
when you
these
put these. What you everybody is paid and bought. That's what it is. Bottom line, to me, anyways.
the homeless, they're gonna start arresting a lot of homeless people now or finding them. I mean, if they can't even like have the money for a place to live, you're gonna find them and make it even harder.
Right?
Like I don't
Who's
understand.
that's a
What's the
joke. It's
point?
because it's a
It's just like
joke.
the law where you're not allowed to feed the homeless. And it was in Texas, I think you could get in trouble or fined for feeding the homeless.
Well, that's insane. It's just it's weird. These things. Why? Why?
I don't know. We're taking a very dark turn. Um, the 4 years that Trump was in office, putting those
People in the Supreme
Supreme Court
Court.
justice
Yeah.
in place has done dire damage to an already
And already janky system.
yeah.
I mean, but it's all janky. The fact that he can even run again is like, really? How? How can a felon? How can someone who's a felon not vote? But this motherfucker, he could vote for fucking president. I mean, and then I'm not to play sides or anything. I'm not much happy over on the other side. We got a fucking weekend at Bernie's over here, okay, with Papa Joe. It's just like, what is happening? What is anybody gonna do anything about this? Or anyways,
I kind of just I want it to be over already.
yeah,
See, so
I
we
know, but
know
what does that even mean,
I
really?
don't it's never gonna
You
be
know,
over.
right?
So that's why I like really want to look at getting dual citizenship somewhere else and possibly
Yeah,
moving.
sure.
Europe is so nice, even though it
Yeah,
is
sure,
a
I
lot of
know.
this like rights conservative fascist politics is spreading over there also.
Yeah, I mean, there's it's a bad it's bad and like everywhere has, it's a complicated situation, and we'll leave it at that.
I
A
had to
couple.
put this.
Yeah, that's cool. We could talk about our musical tastes.
I
Uh,
put on here the rise of Chappelle Roan. I mean, okay, this is why I'm happy because even though all these dire, horrible things have been happening lately, my For You page has been full of Chappelle Roan,
yeah,
yeah, content and like, just fun content. And it's like happier,
yeah, she's
festival
cool.
content. I'm seeing a lot of festival content too, not just Chappelle Roan, just festival content in general, people showing their campsites, making me miss Bonnaroo. But the story that got me and kind of like I was always enjoying the clips and the little parts I would hear of her music
Mm-hmm.
on YouTube, but I never really took the time to
Listen.
listen. But she kept just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Since January, she's just progressively grown in the charts as far as her singles going up in the charts, as far
Oh,
as her streams going up, as far as her audiences being bigger
have
at
you
her.
seen the her at the concert, kind of having a mental breakdown and
I
going like,
saw
I
that.
have this is very overwhelming for me. I have
I
there a lot
saw
has been
that.
happening
She broke
lately.
down at one of her live shows.
Yeah,
She was very honest and open with her audience. She was just like, she's appreciative of what's happening. It's just all
right.
happening really fast all at once.
Right.
And I saw this content creator talking about her how she's proof that it takes 10 years to become an
I seen
overnight
that. Yeah,
success.
yeah, I heard her too. I heard that.
Cuz she was at this for over 10 years. She was
Yeah,
about to give up on her music
on YouTube and
career
stuff too.
and boom, this just took off.
Yeah, good for her. I like her vibes.
Totally. I
I
love it.
love her
She's
vibes.
She's awesome. She's a drag queen. She puts on a great show. What I found most interesting is that she was supposed to be performing at like a tent at Bonnaroo, that tent or something.
Uh-huh.
And because of her steady growth, they had to make
Move her.
changes and move her to the main stage
Yeah.
because her freaking audiences
And
have gotten
that
huge.
happens. That happens. I remember going to not Bonnaroo. What's the other one we went to? That Langarado, the one that
Langorado.
was like it was like not a stay at not a camp out festival, but then it became one, and then that didn't go so well, so they tried to bring it back, and they never came back.
Mhm.
So with the Vampire Weekends was starting to blow the fuck up,
Mhm,
and we
mhm.
were supposed to see them there, and they ended up having to play SNL
Oh, wow.
the day they were supposed to play at Longarado, so we didn't even get to see them, and that's the
Damn, they
progression of
canceled
that.
on
They fucking
Ligorado.
blew up.
I mean, I would cancel on Ligorado too, to be honest. No,
Yeah,
that's
but
amazing.
that's like that.
So yeah, now I was like, okay, I gotta listen to this album that everybody's flipping out. I'm really enjoying the few songs I hear. I think they're fun, entertaining. What's cool about her music? It's fun. It's fun to listen to. It's fun to like watch be performed and stuff. Um, so I listened to the album and now I'm like hooked.
Yeah,
Like,
she's fun.
it's a lot of fun.
I've been listening to the two Samantha Carpenter songs.
The please, please, please.
Yeah, that song. Yeah, I like the little hook of hers. The what is it? Heartbreak is one thing, my ego's another. I beg you, don't embarrass me, motherfucker. It
She's
sounds
like,
like an old Cyndi Lauper
"Motherfucker,
song.
motherfucker."
Yeah, it's weird. But I really like that song, and the other espresso song.
Espresso.
I heard it a long time ago, and it's just really catchy and sticky, and I love it. And I love that a lot of these songs are giving you like 80s,
Yeah, 80s
90s kind of feel. I've been getting a lot into 21 Pilot. 21 Pilots, is that the name? Yeah, they got a cool
Yeah,
song in their
yeah.
last album that sounds kind of 80s. Empire of the Sun is new with a new album, has new songs.
Really? I have to
Yeah,
listen to
it's
that.
so good. Yeah,
I kind
music,
of want to
man.
go to Lollapalooza now.
Who's gonna be there? I want to go to 3 Points. And
3 Points, I'm going.
I know
I got
you're
tickets.
going. I was trying to convince my niece to go. I was like, "You're perfect for
Jungle's
that. You
gonna
should go."
be
I
at
know.
Lollapalooza
Oh, is
also.
are they? And they're blowing up too.
They're blowing up. Jungle is also blowing up. Who else? Chappelle Roan's gonna be at Lollapalooza. Megan the
fun.
Stallion, like Deftones.
Wow,
Yeah,
Deftones.
yeah. There's like a bunch of good music that's gonna be there. And I'm like, damn. I've never been to Lollapalooza, and now that I love Chicago,
I know. And Lollapalooza's
now
been
that
around since we were young.
I know that's
young.
one festival I've always wanted to go to.
Yeah. Hey, tell us what music festival you'd like to go to.
Yeah, and that's a city festival. You wouldn't be camping. You would just be staying in a nice city like Chicago and going to see good music. So yeah, what festivals do you go to, or do you enjoy, or do you wish you could go to?
Yeah, let us know. If you're listening to us on like Spotify, you can record your feedback. We'd feature you on the show and everything. And if not, you can support us by becoming a patron. We want to give a special shout out to all of our patrons who make this show happen, quite frankly. If you can't go that route, because I know that's kind of a commitment, you can just rate our show, drop a review on Apple Podcasts, share clips, comments,
Yeah, just interacting with our post in every way, like the whole like save the post, comment the post.
Yeah, comment the post, like
share
the post, save the post, share the post.
All those things
help us out immensely. And if we have sponsored ads, those help us run the show and do other things and plan other kinds of trips and stuff in the future. So I know sometimes, we're kind of selling stuff, but we're doing it in a fun way. Just drop a like and a comment.
It's not even, you don't even have to buy it. Just liking it and commenting on it helps us.
Just shows us that you support us.
Exactly.
Us, pot smoking moms. Hey, I think it's time to give the people what they want.
Let's go. News Nugs, where we get high and read the news to you. So this is a great one. NCAA votes to remove marijuana from banned substances list for college athletes. Do the We actually talked about this with Liz Thompson on our Train with Mary Jane episode last week. So if you did not listen to that interview with Liz, check it out.
Sports and weed and sports.
Athletics and weed.
Yeah.
We talk about her clinical trial that she is collecting information for the NFL, and she has been also collecting information from NCAA athletes and their physicians. And here we go. Let's see what they got to say. So, the National Collegiate Athletic Association (NCAA) has voted to remove marijuana from its banned substances list for Division One players effective immediately. About 5 months after NCAA's Division I
One.
Council proposed, oh, sorry, not I, Division One Council proposed the rule change. The body adopted the policy on Tuesday, emphasizing that cannabis is not a performance enhancing drug and that it should be treated the same way as alcohol. The reform builds on a 2022 change that increased the allowable THC threshold for college athletes, aligning NCAA's rules with those of the World Anti Doping Agency, WADA.
Wada.
WADA. The new the newly adopted rule, which amends NCAA's drug testing policies for student sports championships and postseason participation in football, will also be retroactively applied, discontinuing any penalties players are currently facing for a cannabis related violation. Nice. So, the NCAA drug testing program is intended to focus on integrity of competition, and cannabis products do not provide a competitive advantage. Josh Whitman, chair of the council, said in a press release. The council's focus is on policies centered on student athlete health and well being rather than punishment for cannabis use. Cannabinoids will be addressed like other non performance enhancing drugs like alcohol, NCAA said in a social media post. NCAA members will focus on harm reduction strategies, problematic cannabis use, centering health of student athletes. I forgot to code.
This reform follows a preliminary recommendation last June from NCAA's Committee on Competitive Safeguards and Medical Aspects of Sports that each of the organization's three governing bodies remove marijuana from the banned substances list. Divisions 2 and 3 are yet to vote on the proposal. Slowly, surely, America is coming to its senses after 50 years of the failed war drugs. Representative Earl Blumenauer,
Democrat Oregon?
co-chair
so.
of the Congressional Cannabis Caucus, said in a statement on Wednesday, "It is only fitting that the NCAA remove cannabis from its list of banned substances as Sha'Carri Richardson qualifies for the 2024 Olympics, an accomplishment she earned for years ago but was wrongly taken away.
Yep.
Common sense is finally prevailing," he added, referencing their qualification of a U.S. runner was previously suspended from participating in the Olympics events due to a positive THC test on 2021, which we talked about back
Then when it
then.
happened.
Historically, college athletes have been subject to testing during postseason play. Positive tests should mean an entire season of lost eligibility. Officials have said the changes are intended to focus more on problematic use and penalizing players for a single mistake. Informally recommending the policy shift last September, the NCAA committee said that ending the cannabis ban acknowledges the ineffectiveness of existing policy, banning, testing, and penalizing, affirms the body's belief that cannabis is not a performance enhancing drug, promotes the importance of moving toward a harm reduction strategy.
The timing of discussion and adoption of possible legislation is a decision that will be made by each of three NCAA divisional governance structures, the panel said. This recommendation is based on extensive study informed by industry and subject matter experts, including doctors, substance misuse experts, and membership practitioners. Multiple sports organizations have moved to amend their marijuana testing policies for athletes amid the state legalization movement. For example, the NFL and its players' union agreed to end the practice of suspending players over marijuana or other drugs as part of a collective bargaining agreement in 2020. Any NFL any NFL has committed significant funding to research into whether CBD can serve as an effective opioid alternative, and it's also explored the therapeutic potential of the non-intoxicating cannabinoid for pain management and neuroprotection from concussions, which we discussed also with Liz last week. Um, the Ultimate Fighting Championship (UFC) announced in December that it is formally removing marijuana from its newly modified
Oh,
banned
for
substances
sure.
list for athletes, also building on an earlier reform. However, ahead of a UFC event in February, a California Athletics Commission said they could still face penalties under state rules for testing positive for THC over a certain limit, as the state's body policy is based around WADA guidance. But I thought I guess before they changed it, I don't know. Go for it.
Nevada sports regulators voted last year to send a proposed regulatory amendment to the governor that would protect athletes from being penalized over using or possessing marijuana in compliance with the state. Is it penalized or penalized?
I say penalized.
Okay. Penalized sounds funnier. Well, advocates have welcomed these changes. There's been criticism of WADA over its ongoing cannabis ban. Members of a panel within the agency said in an opinion piece last August that marijuana use by athletes violates the spirit of sport, making them unfit role models whose potential impairment could put others at risk. Wouldn't that also, athletes that beat their wives, shouldn't they also not be?
Or athletes that raped little children?
Oh yeah, right. Because
Like
that's something that
other
came up
guy
recently. Some
they're letting
guy,
that guy compete in the Olympics, and he's
yeah,
been charged. I believe him convicted and served and everything for raping a 12-year-old.
That's insane. But then again, we live in a country where you can't vote if you're a felon, but you can run for president, apparently. So, anything goes here. Advocates strongly urge WADA to enact a reform after U.S. runner Sha'Carri Richardson. Did we already talk about this, about Sha'Carri Richardson?
They mentioned it earlier.
Following
and we talked about her.
That suspension, the U.S. anti-doping agency said that the international rules on marijuana must change. The White House and President Joe Biden himself signaled, or well, it was probably someone, that it was time for new policies, and congressional lawmakers amplified that message. Meanwhile, an NFL player recently sued the league and his former team, the Denver Broncos, for allegedly employment discrimination after he was fined more than $500,000 for testing positive for THC that he says was caused by his prescribed use of a synthetic cannabinoid.
Oh, I wonder who this player is.
Right. And I wonder what the synthetic cannabinoid
recently
is.
I wonder, they said, yeah, I wonder that too. So this I found interesting. California State Fair will allow marijuana sales on site and on-site consumption for first time.
But State Fair,
the State Fair, like the state has a fair, like those, I guess, kind of like, what is it? The fair that we have down here,
like the Dade County Youth Fair.
Yeah, kind of like something like that. But the State Fair.
I thought they were wasn't there something about them at like concert venues being now able to like sell?
There was something about that happening.
I remember I thought that was this, but this is not that.
No, this is just like they're gonna have weed and consumption on site.
And the State Fair, and this is an event that happens once a year.
Yes. And I think I also forgot to color code.
Okay, so we'll navigate this improv style.
This year's California State Fair will make history with marijuana sales and on-site consumption being allowed for the first time.
Smoke weed every
day.
So while the annual fair has featured cannabis competitions and educational booths in recent years, this will be the first time
lubing it up.
The state-sanctioned event will permit adults to consume and purchase marijuana. Hosting cannabis sales and consumption is a groundbreaking milestone in destigmatization by facilitating a deeper connection between consumers and the farmers who cultivate their products with such care. Lauren Carpenter, co-founder of the cannabis company Embark, which is the fair's partner on the expanded marijuana offerings, said in a press release. At the event, which takes place from July 12th to the 28th, so those of you in California,
let us know how
if anybody goes to this, let us know. July 12th to the 28th. Is this a fair that you normally go to? Is it popular? Do you think it'll become more popular now that people can actually buy and consume weed there? Anyway, July 12th to the 28th, adults 21 and older will be able to review different cannabis products, add them to a virtual shopping cart, and pick them up at one of Embark's offsite dispensaries. Interesting.
So you can try it there and review the product, and then that sounds like an ideal marketing situation. So you go to the event, you go to the fair, and you can review different cannabis products there, right? So you're getting the review on whatever they're adding.
Like, I like this.
And then you're like, since you reviewed it and you liked it,
So you
we're
can't
gonna give
literally,
it
you're
to
not
you.
literally buying it there. You're like buying
Trying
it
it.
virtually and you pick it up off site at one of the dispensaries, but you're able to try it there.
Right.
That's amazing.
Well, that's a really good marketing idea. Because imagine that. You're not really selling it there.
no.
They're trying it and they're giving you a review. So you're having someone put feedback on your whatever, your account.
I don't
your-
think they're actually there. You're just able to review different products. I'm
Well,
not saying you
I
have
would
to
take
review.
the opportunity to put it in writing or whatever content, make content out of it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, now that you did that, you get it free when you get home. Go home, you pick it up at the dispensary, and you got free product.
No, I think they're actually buying it. They're getting the stuff to try there free,
Okay,
and
I'm
if they
making too
like
many
it,
assumptions.
they buy it.
Okay.
It says we'll be able to review different cannabis products, add them to a virtual shopping cart, and pick them up at one of Embark's
Right.
off-site dispensaries.
Also, the fair will feature a 30,000 square foot consumption area. That was
Oh,
nice.
30,000.
This initiative spotlights the significant role of cannabis in California's agricultural industry, making a major milestone in the state fair's 170-year history.
Damn.
James Leitz, executive producer of the cannabis competition and exhibit, woo-woo, said expanding the competition to include all form factors and providing patrons the opportunity to directly engage with and consume winning brands is transformational for public understanding of the plant. While this is a first for California, on-site cannabis use and sales were allowed at the New York State Fair in 2021
Oh, look at that. I didn't know
after
that.
adult use legalization was enacted. However, the fair stopped permitting public consumption at last year's event, though attendees could buy marijuana products from nearly a dozen local growers at a cannabis farmers market held in conjunction with the event.
Nice. Yeah, we reported on that.
Damn,
when
but
it
you
happened.
can't smoke it there.
I mean, I'm sure people still do it anyway while they're walking around.
I guess.
I mean, you're walking around New York and they're fucking just smoking everywhere.
right.
So in California, this year's Cannabis Awards competition is also being expanded to include product categories other than flower, such as pre-rolls, concentrates, and edibles. There are more than 500 entries, which is double the number compared to last year. The California State Fair took a historic leadership position in 2022 with the introduction of a cannabis exhibit and competition. Tom Martinez, CEO of the California State Fair, said, "This year, we've expanded our offerings to include on site sales and consumption in a designated area to provide a platform to amplify California's rich agricultural bounty and facilitate storytelling for farmers from diverse backgrounds and experiences. We have partnered with the city of Sacramento, the state of California, James Leitz, and Embark alongside our robust on-site public health and safety infrastructure to ensure a responsible and community-sensitive event," he said. "We look forward to welcoming visitors from across the state and beyond to this informative experience." The California Exhibition and State Fair is an independent state agency established by law under California's Food and Agricultural Code. Governor Gavin Newsom, Democrat, is an ex officio member of the fair's board of directors, as are several state lawmakers.
The expanded cannabis features of this year's fair are made possible in part by a bill that was enacted in 2018, allowing regulators to issue temporary marijuana event licenses in jurisdictions where the local government permits it. Meanwhile, the California Assembly approved a bill to legalize cannabis cafes in the state
Ooh.
last month,
Nice.
sending it to the Senate months after the governor vetoed a previous iteration of the proposal. The legislation would also allow live musical or other performances on the premises of a cannabis retailer in areas where on-site consumption is allowed. Separately, bipartisan state lawmakers filed legislation last week to authorize a pilot program that would provide psilocybin treatment to military veterans and first responders.
Damn.
They need it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. We're going to have the same scenario with this next story. Okay.
Marijuana rolling paper company will pay $4.20 to volunteers to smoke joints for science.
Smoke joints for science.
A marijuana rolling paper company is looking for 200 volunteers to participate in the study where they'll be paid $4.20 to smoke 2 free pre-rolls and provide feedback on their smokability. I smell a marketing PR article.
No.
Day Savers announced on Monday that it's partnering with the Cannabis Research Coalition and the Network of Applied Pharmacognosy for NAP for its Science of Smokability study, which will investigate how different cultivation and processing practices affect consumers' smoking experience. The research not only has the potential to improve product quality and consistency, but also promotes sustainability, profitability, and a deeper scientific understanding of cannabis as a medicinal and recreational product, the company said in a press release.
This is I'm pretty confident, like 99% sure. This is Miyabi and Riley's study.
Okay.
The science of smokability. So adults 21 and older are being invited to participate in the experiment. Day Savers said it will randomly select 200 volunteers who will be paid the symbolic $4.20 stipend to test 2 cannabis joints that will be shipped to them. Over the course of 2 years, researchers will conduct controlled laboratory tests and look at consumer data to help inform best practices. The study will additionally explore how variables such as mineral, nutritional, and moisture content affect ash color, smoke composition, and smoke quality. Harrison Bard, CEO of Day Savers and its parent company, Custom Cones USA, said through this research we'll be shedding light on some major unknowns in the cannabis industry. This type of research exists and has been proven to be extremely important in the tobacco industry, so we are excited to pave the way for a safer and a more enjoyable future for the cannabis industry, where quality and standards are at the forefront of cannabis cultivation and pre-roll product development, he said. Allison Justice, founder of the Cannabis Research Coalition, said that the partnership highlights the pivotal importance of industry-wide collaboration and underscores the significance of research initiatives for the shaping the future of the cannabis sector. This cross-departmental research collaboration extends beyond more acquisition of sustainable and profitable cultivation and post-harvest metrics. We are actively establishing the benchmarks for ensuring the highest standards and producing flower intended for combustion, she said.
Day Savers said the first phase of findings will be published in the coming months and will demonstrate how to optimize cultivation metrics to save time, money, and resources and enhance product quality. The overall study results will also be shared with the cannabis team at the Standards Organization, ASTM International, which last year helped to add a pair of new marijuana items to a federal handbook that are meant to provide model standards for cannabis definitions, packaging and labeling requirements, and best storage practices to control for moisture loss in marijuana flower. Day Savers separately launched a campaign in March to hire for what it calls the ultimate stoner dream job.
Ultimate stoner dream job. Is it?
Seeking a content creator to get paid to smoke weed. The
Ding,
full-time
ding, ding. That sounds great.
I hear, right?
$70,000?
The full-time social media creator and event marketer job pays $70,420 with perks including cannabis
It's not
products,
bad.
testing, and all expenses paid travel to marijuana events.
It's not too bad.
The
Should
campaign, yeah, for real, right? I'll do it. Shit, I'll make content for y'all. The campaign is reminiscent of the time that cannabis icon Snoop Dogg disclosed in 2019 that he pays a person between $40,000 to $50,000 per year to roll blunts for him. The National Institute
that's a
on
dream
Drug
job.
Abuse has also previously solicited help to acquire, develop, and produce marijuana cigarettes for research purposes. It's like, what?
I'm pretty sure that was
That was
Science
it?
of Smokability. That's their thing. I have the card somewhere.
Yeah, you did that. You're part of that.
But I'm not I think this is another part. I think they're now working with
People in the state that can smoke actual weed, right? And
they're
not
working with
CBD and stuff. Because what you
this
got?
cones company. I guess maybe
Day Savers?
they're what's it called when they provide the money?
Sponsoring it?
Yeah, like they're like sponsoring it. They're the ones that are
Co-
providing the money for the research,
They're financing it.
financing it. Is it venture or capital or
I don't know. Whatever it is. It's interesting.
Grants.
They're
Giving
doing
a grant because I feel like
grant.
for research it's called grants or some shit like that. That's what I was thinking. All right, well, you know what's after.
Damn. What? Time for another bowl. Another hit of that bowl.
I don't know.
Oh,
Pretty
maybe
lit.
not. It's lit. We can get lit now
No,
with this
it's
next
time for
segment.
dun dun dun.
I love you, Miami.
So for I Love You, Miami, I didn't really want to talk about all the Florida politics and all the things going on. But one thing I've been seeing a lot in the headlines are shark attacks and rip current, like people disappearing. And not only in headlines, like in my For You page and stuff like that.
Oh, the beach, the lady and the daughter that disappeared off the beach.
Yeah. It's scary. So I was like, how much is this actually happening? And I saw these headlines. Florida authorities warn of shark dangers along Gulf Coast beaches after 3 people are attacked. Women caught in rip current is 6 tourists to drown in Florida waters in just 4 days. So like people come here for our fucking gorgeous beaches and they don't realize like how dangerous it can be if you're not vigilant, you know? You got to be aware of things. You got to know the flags. You should swim on, you know. I figured, hey, let's find some tips on these things. First, let's get a little breakdown on the shark attacks.
First, if you're gonna visit us here in Florida, let us know you're coming. So maybe we can,
Meet up. Let's hang
meet
out.
up. All right. But also, here are some tips in case you don't come to Miami, you go to another part of Florida, maybe.
Yeah, but first, I wanted to see how many, because I kept seeing shark, and I'm like, how much has actually happened, right? So as of June 29th, there have been 26 shark attack bites in 2024. 8 provoked and 1 fatal shark attack publicly reported and verified. That's not in Florida. I think that's like all in the U.S.
Can I say this? The fact that 8 of them were provoked.
Yeah,
right?
why
'Cause
are
that
you
means-
provoking
why are you,
sharks?
Poking around, like why are you fucking around?
I don't know. Fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
Like
what?
Why would you
I
fuck around with
mean,
a shark?
Damn, dude.
So there have been 13 shark attack bites in the U.S. in 2024. Oh, so 26 is worldwide. 13 is in the U.S. 5 in Florida, 2 in Hawaii, 1 in California. Why put New York there as 0 if there's been nothing?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
why even put it?
What?
1 in South Carolina, and then 2 provoked and 1 fatal in California and Hawaii. What? So 5 attack bites have been reported in Florida in 2024, and 1 was provoked and 0 have been fatal. So this is what you should do if you encounter a shark. It's essential that you stay calm and follow these steps to increase your chances of staying safe.
Stay calm. Don't panic. I know you want to panic, but like,
I would panic. Like, how do you
know what I'm
not
saying?
panic seeing a
Oh,
shark?
dude.
How do you stay calm?
You stay calm as soon as you see some shit.
You
I saw
gotta
a
go
shark-
zen. You gotta go zen, bro.
I can say that it has happened to me before.
Oh my god.
We were in Hollywood Beach in a circle, right? So it was me, somebody. Okay, I see. Actually, all 3 of them were facing me, right? So they're like here, and I'm like here.
Yeah.
I'm staring out this way, and they're all staring at me because we're all talking in the water. I see the fish fin go like this in the background.
Oh my god.
And I look everybody very serious. It changed. The conversation shifted, and I looked at everybody and I go, "Let's get out of the water right now."
Oh my god.
And the girl, they listened to me. I
But
turned
calmly?
around,
Everybody calmly?
and my brother in the background. What? What happened? What'd you see? I go, get out of the water, and I'll tell you all about it. And we got out of the water. And we all turned around and started looking. And I go, guys, I saw the biggest of fishes.
Finn.
Fin just go wee, do the wave behind you guys.
So you're
I don't know what it is, but I was like, I'm not fucking sharing the same space with that shit. We got out and we were looking out into the ocean to see if we see it again. And me and my mom at the same time go, oh my God, because we saw it jump out of the water again.
What
and
was it?
It was a dorsal fin. And that is
Oh.
all I could say.
But it was probably a dolphin then.
Girl, I do not care what it was, because
Okay.
if it was a shark,
No, you would have been fucked.
okay,
Or like they usually are just confused when they do
prime
an attack.
example, stay calm.
Yeah.
Don't panic. Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Sharks are often curious and may approach out of curiosity. Panicking and making sudden movements can attract more attention from the shark. This is health news today, Florida, whatever. What does it say?
So next is maintain eye contact. Okay, that I feel like that's hard if you're not under the water, but like I think you just need to keep eyes on it. So try to keep the shark in sight at all times. Sharks often use the element of surprise, so maintaining eye contact can discourage an attack. So if you're like in the water and they see that you're seeing them, they're not going to fuck with you, I guess. But like, I think just keep your eye on it. But like if you're trying to get out, you might have to turn your back to like, you know what I mean?
Well, how do you know?
Back away. It says back away slowly.
Well, how do you know? What if the shark is just flirting with you? Back away slowly. Like the prime example I gave a little earlier. Slowly and smoothly back away towards the shore or a boat. Do not thrash or splash around, as this could mimic the movements of prey.
Yeah, that grabs their attention more. Defend yourself if necessary. If a shark comes close or attacks, use any available objects, such as a camera, snorkel, or fins to defend yourself. Aim for the shark's sensitive areas, like the eyes, the gills, and the snout.
Like, watch, we're gonna do a demonstration, okay? You gotta hit me with something. You gotta hit me with something.
I don't have anything. I just have my hands.
See, she panicked. It's exactly what you're not supposed to do. You gotta grab something, defend yourself, and smack them. Leave the water calmly. Once you feel it is safe to do so, calmly and steadily swim back to shore or safety without turning your back on the shark.
Never turn your back on the shark.
Oh, I turned my back to get out of the water.
You were supposed to back away slowly.
Yeah, well, we backed away.
Preventative measures.
Briskly.
Avoid swimming at dusk or dawn.
Oh,
Sharks are most active during these times, making encounters more likely.
Avoid wearing shiny jewelry.
Oh, that's
the reflection of light from jewelry can resemble fish scales and attract sharks. So stop being a douche in the water. Take all of your
don't
jewelry
wear jewelry.
off.
I don't understand wearing jewelry in the water. Like I've always known that growing up, you don't wear jewelry in the water because it is like they see shiny and they go for it. It can be barracuda, sharks, any predatory fish.
The what's it called? The baits on the fishing rods.
It's shiny.
The lures. Yeah, don't wear that shit around your neck, dum-dum.
Stay in groups. Sharks are more likely to attack individuals who are alone.
Oh. Avoid areas with fishing activity. Stay away from areas where people are fishing or where there are schools of fish, as these attract sharks. Following these tips can help you stay safe if you encounter a shark while in the water. For more detailed information, refer to sources like the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration and the Florida Museum's International Shark Attack File.
I think Kayla's going to like this episode because we're talking about sharks. It's going to be a while before she gets here, though. Oh. She's still listening from the beginning. So, yeah, like, and the school of fish things, that's what they're saying why these recent attacks have been happening is because a lot of the schools of fish have been getting closer to the shores and the sandbars and shit like that. So, and the sharks are just chasing them and people get in the way and they're there. They're people, we're in their home, honestly. The next thing is rip currents. And we actually saw a rescue happen. Like when Lauren was here.
You had said something about that.
Yeah, we saw a rescue happen. Somebody got taken by a rip current and the lifeguard had to go out there and get them. So, and people have been dying because a lot of people don't know what to do during a rip current. Like if you get caught in a rip current, how to survive it. So here are some tips. And first, we're going to talk a little bit.
Yeah, this is scary. Actually, growing up, there was a boy who I went to school with, and growing up, that was like after one summer, he never came back to school because, or it wasn't him, his father. I don't think it was him. I think it was him. I think it was his father, but it was something about a rip current, and the person had passed away because of
they got taken out by
after summer vacation.
So far in 2024, there have been 19 surf zone fatalities in the United States, including those caused by rip currents. Of these, 10 deaths occurred along the Gulf of Mexico beaches stretching from Florida's Panhandle to Mobile, Alabama. Specifically in Florida, there have been at least 6 deaths due to rip currents, with incidents reported along Hutchinson Island, Panama City Beach, and other areas. June 7th, 2024, 2 separate incidents of rip currents in the Florida Panhandle resulted in 3 fatalities. These events led to temporary beach closures due to hazardous conditions.
Mid-June 2024, several fatalities occurred over a span of 2 weeks along Florida's Panhandle. 6 people drowned in this period with double red flags,
You're not supposed to go in the water with double
indicating
red
dangerous
flags.
rip current conditions on many of these days. These fatalities included 2 fathers who drowned while trying to save their children. Oh my God,
Oh
that's
my
terrible.
God, that's so sad.
That's terrible. If you see double red flags out there, you
You
guys,
don't go in the
don't
water. That
do
means
it.
no. You could actually get in trouble and get fined. Like
Oh, yeah?
yeah. You're not supposed to. It's like illegal to go in the water when there's 2 red flags. You're not supposed to go in. And honestly, like if there was lifeguards there, I'm surprised they let these people.
Well,
go in
sometimes people go like on times where they're not on duty. So
if
who
they're not on
knows?
duty. Yeah, for sure.
June 20 to 23. This is recent.
Yeah, this is all this year.
3 additional fatalities reported off the coast of Alabama, which is part of the Gulf Coast region stretching to Florida's Panhandle.
So, general beach safety and conditions. Throughout these incidents, many of the fatalities occurred despite warnings and the presence of double red flags, which indicate the most hazardous water conditions. Local authorities have been enforcing beach safety measures, issuing fines, and conducting numerous rescues to prevent further deaths.
And you know what? And I want to say that it's hard because, right, these people are probably people from tourists. And then they're like, whoa, I don't get to be here often. And I'm not going to
not go in the water.
And here the weather's so crazy. I remember like we have a timeshare on the beach. And every time we would go every week, you never know what kind of week you would get. There would be half the time. There will be weeks where like half of the week is storming, really bad weather. The flags are out. So you don't really get to enjoy the beach as much. So I can only imagine like tourists, people out of town, like coming and then going like, well, if I don't go, like I'm not going to get to enjoy it because whatever. But that's what you're gambling. It's really high risk. So don't do that.
It says overall, the persistent danger of rip currents has led to multiple fatalities in Florida's waters, especially along the Panhandle. The authorities continue to stress the importance of heeding warnings and beach safety protocols to further prevent tragedies. Guys, sometimes I can't talk. If you find yourself caught in a rip current, here are some important steps to follow to ensure your safety.
Again, stay calm. Panic can lead to exhaustion. Staying calm will help you think clearly and conserve energy.
Don't fight the current. Rip currents are strong and fast moving. Trying to swim directly back to shore against the current will tire you out quickly. Instead, let the current carry you out until it weakens. That sounds so scary, but like that's what you got to do. You got to let it carry you out, because if you try to swim against it, you're going to tire out. You instead
swim parallel to the shore. Once you're out of the strongest part of the rip current, when
you gotta let it take
the rip current like the end of a wave? Like what is
the rip
we're
current?
Talking about a rip current.
They usually do kind of like a U kind of thing. So they'll take you out, but then they can take you back in if you let it. So you're supposed to like go, let it go out, and then when it starts to weaken,
does it suck you in?
No, it's taking you out.
It sucks you into the water?
No,
it pushes you away from the shore.
It's taking you away from the shore.
Okay.
And people get tired trying to swim against it, trying to go back to the shore. Right. So they drown because they get tired.
Yeah.
But you got to let it take you. And once it's no longer like strong, you start swimming parallel to the shore. And you just got to keep trying to get attention from somebody. Hopefully, you're at
so you need to have somebody help you then in that case?
You could eventually get back, but like hopefully just keep reading.
Once you're out of the strongest part of the rip current, swim parallel to the shore. Rip currents are usually narrow, so swimming parallel will help you escape its grip.
Float or tread water if necessary. If you're unable to swim out of the current, float or tread water to keep your head above water. The current will eventually weaken, allowing you to swim back to shore safely.
Signal for help. Wave your arms and yell for help if you need assistance. Lifeguards or other beachgoers may be able to help you get back to shore safely.
Swim at lifeguarded beaches. Whenever possible, swim at beaches with lifeguards. They are trained to recognize rip currents and can provide immediate assistance, which we saw happen.
Yeah, like people think lifeguards and they think they're just hanging out.
No, they're
day.
keeping an eye out.
But like, yeah, the
And-
beach was really busy. Like you could see all the working components of that beach the last time we were out there.
Yeah.
Including the constant cops.
So additionally, it says here, know the warning flags.
Pay attention to beach warning flags and signs which indicate water conditions. Red flags means high hazard, while double red flags means the water is closed for public use.
Yes. So one red flag is just like swim with caution, be very careful. Like when I see a one red flag, I'll go in, but not very far. I keep it like close and I'm very vigilant. Two red flags, you don't go in at all. Stay informed, check local weather and surf reports before heading to the beach to be aware of current conditions. And following these tips will help you stay safe if you encounter rip currents while swimming. So everybody, please be careful.
Yeah, especially now during the summer. We know everybody's traveling.
Yeah.
So
You got to keep an eye on your kids too.
yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
that's
there
so
was
sad.
another
The
story, the
Father's
sand
Day
one
thing.
too. The one where they were building
Oh my
the
God,
sand and
digging.
they fell in.
Yeah, I was like, new fear unlocked. I didn't even know that was a fucking thing that could happen. Like, of course, how do you get buried alive? One child did. Oh, that was so sad.
Awful, right?
So fucking
But
sad.
it was all because the parent wasn't watching them.
Yeah, they
so you got to be very hyper vigilant. That's why, like, when you guys are like, oh yeah,
I'm
just
pretty
bring them,
paranoid.
just bring them out. I think now it's easier, right? Because they're a little older.
Yeah.
But like back when they were a little more like chaotic, there's a toddler chaotic energy between like 2 years old and like 4,
Mhm.
where it's just like anything happens. Like they could just do whatever the fuck or randomly anytime. But yeah, like beaches, especially like if it's a lot the waves, like getting in there with them, I don't
Mhm.
feel so comfortable
Mhm.
because the waves and
Yep.
stuff. And then now you have to save them. You can't like save yourself. You got to save them too, So it's just like, I get anxiety because I know you got to keep an eye out on them.
Yeah, for sure. So we've reached the end of the show, but next week we will be back with a whole new interview for you guys. We speak with Ashley Manta. She is a sex and relationship coach and founder of CannaSexual.
It was a hot and spicy conversation. We
Yeah, it
had
was a
been
lot
wanting
of
to
fun.
speak to someone like her for a really long time.
We said we'd get a sexy time person. We did.
Sexy time person. It was such a fun interview too. Like you guys need to check it out. It's spicy. Like of course you have to check it out.
Yes. So tune in next week for that interview. And now we have reached the end of the show.
It's
Time
to put your no. It's time to put your
I
bongs
didn't know there's
away.
I thought it was just time to put your bongs away.
Okay. Time to put your bongs away. We reached the end of the show.
I hope we did that right.
Patrons,
All right.
we love you.
Thank you so much, patrons. Yanni,
Destiny,
Lauren,
Christy,
Denise,
Peaches,
Meredith,
Natalie,
Angelina,
Jenny,
Catherine,
Jesse,
Diane,
Gabby,
Leslie, and Stephanie.
Stephanie.
Thank you guys so much. We appreciate all your support. Become a patron for early access to episodes, exclusive sessions in our
Come over
Discord
to our
server.
Discord server. It's
Mom
popping.
trips. It's so much fun. If subscribe, rate, review. See you next week.
Thank you. Love you. PotSmokingMoms.com.
Time to pack again.